translated into the kingdom of David. Where was the kingdom better? Under Saul, that measly mouth and yellow-bellied dog? Or was it better under David? A translation's better than an original. But that ain't good enough, because the Bible said, and you that were in the kingdom of darkness hath God translated into the kingdom of His Son. Where were you better, lost without hope and without God, or on God's side? Just tell them to go to Sheol. Kind way of telling them to go home. All right. He carried me. Thank God for that. Hand of the Lord was upon me, Ezekiel said. I wish I could see things the way God sees them. Some yins are thinking, God ain't ever going to do nothing with you. That's what Gideon thought. Judges chapter 6, Gideon's a coward. Midianites are coming, he's threshing wheat behind the threshing, or behind the wine press. And God says, hey, O thou man of valor. Some of you would have said, he's talking to me. But Gideon said, who are you talking to, Lord? He said, you. Gideon knew he was a coward. God wasn't looking at today. God's got eternal eyes. God was looking to chapter 7 when Gideon stood up and defeated the enemy. God ain't through with you. You'd be pushing up lilies. All right. We're looking at things in the light of today. That's our problem. What we want. The temporal. Today. You ain't looking at tomorrow, next week. Thank God, God's got eternal eyes. If you get your eyes in vision with God, something will get done. You'll notice verse 2. It gives us a clue. These bones, you'll notice that they're dead. I believe I've met some of them. I believe there might be some here tonight. You ain't dry. You're very dry. Thank God that's why you come to the watering hole to get a drink. That's why we're here. Look at verse 2. He begins to talk. They're lying in a valley, obviously, because he has to look down into it. So he must be elevated. Just need common sense to understand the Bible. That's all you need. That's all you need. In fact, let me ask you a question. Ready, theologian? Was it raining? Was the sun shining when God made Adam? Say the Bible don't say, don't have to say. Use common sense. Say He made them out of dust of the ground. So, weren't raining. Now you'll notice these bones, dry bones, very dry bones, are devoured. They're putrefied. There's no moisture in them. The sun and the wind took all the life out of them. It's the congregation of the dead. I'm so glad today I got a fountain that flows from Emmanuel's veins. And I dipped my ladle in that fountain 29 years ago at 25 years of age, and ain't never been sorry I did. Wait a minute. Take a minute. How did it come about? Well, the hand of the Lord was on me. Carried me in the Spirit. Look at verse 2. What was the vision? It was a picture of utter desolation. They were dry. They were very dry. Wrecked and ruined is what it is. Death. Indifference towards God. They became bleached bones. No evidence of life. Dried up. life to them. I've seen the dead churches, very dry. I hate dead things. I hate undertakers. I hate them. If you're one, I hate you. We was putting new doors in the church and had to measure. You know, you got to measure these days. Where we're at, we bring them right into the church and have a big service. Singing, 2 preachers preach them, go put them in the hole. I said, how big does a door have to be to get a casket in? He said, come on down and see. Boy, that's a bad thing to do. So I went down there. They're creepy, man. I'm telling you, those folks is creepy. And I was standing there, knocked on the door was open, walked in. I was looking around at everything, you know. No one was there. Went over there by one door, seen a stiff there. I walked back. Walked over there, seen one. Oh, I don't want to go there. I was kind of standing there. All of a sudden, out of nowhere, that guy grabbed me. Boy, I was ready. Come on. I want to hit you. He looks me up and down. I'm thinking, can I help you? I said, oh, it depends what kind of help we're talking about. Staring me up and down. Now, he's either queer or he's sizing me up as a new product. Amen. Then he takes me in this room. It's about big as that whole side there. Just looks like a car room, a showroom of a car. He said, you can look around and measure him. Did you bring a tape? I said, I didn't bring no tape. So he said, well, just look around and see what you like. And we'll measure them and see what the big ones and the little ones and all that. And every one of those things had a mirror in them. And a price tag. So we went down there and measured it up. And you know what I hate? I hate dead things. I like life. I like to watch the sunrise over the hills. I like to hear a whippoorwill. I like to hear the locusts cry in the mountains of North Carolina and Smoky Mountain. I like to hear the brook winding and the trout moving. I like life. I'm so tired of dead, dehydrated Baptists I could regurgitate. Ezekiel sees an open valley and utter destruction. I remember years ago, for some reason, when I went to North Carolina, Carl Lackey kind of took a shining to me. And he would tell me, I'd go up there all the time, and I'd eat dinner with him every Monday. We'd meet in Statesville, and we'd eat. And I'd go to his meetings and preach, and had a good time. Had a lot of good preachers up there. And boy, the Spirit of God would blow through that old place years ago. It's dead now. But boy, the Spirit of God used to blow through there. And he'd say, redhead, that's what he called me. He can do it, don't you do it. My real name's James. My friends call me Jim. You can call me Mr. Lince. I'd say, yeah, preacher. He'd say, it's dry. I said, I know. He said, it's going to get dry, boy. He said, when it does, just breathe. Just breathe. Just breathe. I didn't know what he was talking about. I do now. You notice it was a testing question, verse 3. And he said unto me, Son of man, can these bones live? And I said unto him, Thou knowest, Lord. Ezekiel didn't know the answer. The question comes from God. You know what I dread? I don't dread death. I looked at it a few times. I don't dread it. Don't really. Somebody say, you want to go to heaven? I do. I just don't want to go there. Do you? Say, I do. You're a liar. Biggest one in Escambia County. I dread spiritual withdrawal. I